In this video, we'll configure Spring Security to use custom tables. So far in the videos, we have used the default Spring Security database schema. And remember I said you had to use the exact same table names and the exact same column names. That works okay, but you may have thought internally that this is a bit restrictive. Also, you may have thought, what if we have our own custom tables, like our own names? For example, at your company, you may already have existing security tables and you want to configure Spring Security to use those tables. Or you may work for a large multinational company, a large enterprise company, and you have custom tables that are specific to your company. For example, in the database diagram on the screen, we have two tables, members and roles. This is an example of custom tables. Nothing matches with the default Spring Security table schema. You should be able to use any tables and any columns, and that's what we'll do here in this video. And don't worry, you can use your own custom tables with Spring Security. The only thing you need to do is tell Spring Security how to query your custom tables. You need to provide a query to find a user by name, and also you need to provide a query to find authorities or roles by the username. So again, you can use any tables design that you want, but you simply need to tell Spring Security, hey, this is how you find the given user, and here's how you find the roles for that given user. Here's the development process. In step 1, we'll create our custom tables with SQL. Then in step 2, we will update the Spring Security configuration. We'll provide a query to find a user by username. We'll also provide a query to find authorities/roles by username. Alrighty, let's get started with step 1 of creating our custom tables with SQL. So here's the database diagram of our custom tables. We'll have a table for members. This is where we'll store our users. And note here the column names of user ID, PW for password, and active. We'll also have another table called roles, and we'll have the column names of user ID and role. In the coding videos, we'll run the appropriate SQL script to actually create the tables. We'll cover that later in the coding video, but here I wanted to make sure you could see the diagram. Now, notice here that this is all custom. Nothing matches with the default Spring Security table schema. In fact, you can use any table name, any column names. You have total freedom here as far as the table names and the table columns. Now in step 2, we need to update our Spring Security configuration. We need to modify the code where we created that JDBC User Details Manager, and we have to provide the query how to find users by a given username. We give the appropriate SQL query to access our custom members table. And also we have to provide the query how to find roles by a given username. We have to provide the appropriate SQL query to access the roles table. Now the question mark here, that's basically a parameter placeholder. The actual parameter value will be the username that's applied during login. As you can see, we can use any custom tables. We simply have to tell Spring Security how to find the users and roles accordingly. Alrighty, this looks pretty good. Let's move into the next video and let's write some code.